Hello! Welcome to the Hexagon House, an old Virginia home in historic Winchester. Come on in. We're standing in the foyer of the Hexagon House. The Hexagon House was built in 1871 by James Burgess, who was a local furniture and casket dealer. He was inspired to build a hexagon-shaped house by a fad that was happening architecturally in the mid-19th century to build polygon-shaped houses, and particularly was inspired by Orson Squire Fowler, who wrote a book called The Octagon House, A Home for All. Burgess took a lot of these ideas and worked with an architect to create a hexagon-shaped house. There are only 4 buildings that are hexagon-shaped that were built in the 19th century in the state of Virginia. This is the only one that was built to be a residence. The other ones are lighthouses. We're not sure if Burgess ever actually lived in the house. He started building it in 1871, and then in 1873 there was an economic downturn, and he did lose the home in 1874. But he built an amazing house. And while I like to tell people when they come into the foyer to look up at this amazing chandelier, this chandelier is not original to the house. Burgess had rather understated details throughout the house. And so the light fixtures were much more modest than this one. Some of them were milk glass, which we'll see an example of in a moment. But this is an amazing light fixture. It is of the time period. It was gas and has since been electrified. And although it's now up to date, we still have these great switches that are push button switches that work the electric. The house is now owned by the Glass Glen Burnie Foundation and is the headquarters for Preservation of Historic Winchester. The doorbell on the front door is original. It has a patent date of 1860, and it's a brass clanker, which is frighteningly loud. Welcome to the dining room. Again, another beautiful chandelier which has been electrified and is not original to the house. The dining room furniture was donated by Henkel Harris, which is a well-known Shenandoah Valley furniture maker. Carol and Mary Henkel were very involved with Preservation of Historic Winchester. Carol Henkel served as board president, first board president in 1964, and Mary Henkel also served on the board of directors. You can see Carol Henkel's toolbox up here, which was donated by Linda Ross. And it's really neat because underneath the name Henkel are Morse code symbols, which were Henkel's Morse code call sign. The dining room has this lovely little built-in china cupboard, which houses a sweet display of dishes that are Adam's ironstone calyxware in the patterns Regent and Regent Purple. So I'm not going to move all the dishes, but I'll show you one. And if you do move all the dishes, the back of the china cupboard does open into a butler's pantry on the other side to pass food and tableware items in back and forth. Another thing that people notice when they come to this house is the incredible light. It's not a dark house. These amazing windows are not only large, but they have this great feature, this etching. It's called French embossing. A few more thoughts on the concept of a polygon-shaped house. Orson Squire Fowler, the proponent of octagon houses, was really pretty innovative for his time. His plans called for central heat, running water, speaking tubes throughout the house, and even indoor water closets. But it's kind of amusing when you first walk into the Hexagon House because it's counterintuitive as far as layout. Typically, houses that we walk into are linear in design. You walk in, there are straight hallways for the most part. Off of these hallways, there are square or rectangular rooms. First of all, the Hexagon House rooms are hexagon-shaped and in some cases octagon-shaped. But also the layout is very circular. And so when you first walk in, before you're used to the house and you try to walk through the house, it's a little disorienting to have this circular layout when you're more accustomed to a linear design. Although this is the kitchen of the house, there wasn't really any cooking done in this room. There's a cooking fireplace downstairs and a cistern, and that's where the meals were cooked. And then this was more of a final prep kitchen. Take note of that chandelier. That chandelier was actually in the dining room. It's the fanciest of the fixtures that was left here when the Glass Glen Burnie Foundation purchased the home. I think this stairway is my favorite part of the house. From this incredible newel post to the satiny feel of the wood and the way that the stairs curve around the hexagon shape, the craftsmanship is just incredible. Here we are in one of the upstairs bedrooms, a spacious, light-filled room. This is one of the original light fixtures made of milk glass. Next door to this room is a bathroom, and it is actually original to the design. Orson Squire Fowler believed in indoor water closets, stating that they were particularly helpful for the infirm and elderly. It was a hard sell because people really thought that was unsanitary. They preferred to keep that sort of business in an outhouse, not inside your home. But Fowler explained that you can use rainwater from gutters, collect that, and use that to flush the water through the house. This is the second of 3 bedrooms upstairs. The 3rd bedroom is currently being used as an office/storage room. But this room is similar to the 1st bedroom, with the exception of the light fixture. I probably shouldn't refer to it as a light fixture. It's clearly a gorgeous chandelier and was not original to the house. These 2 rooms are connected by a lovely, well-lit, smaller room, which could have been used as a nursery or maybe a dressing room. I talked about the unique hexagon shape, but I didn't really mention the Italianate features. The Italianate Victorian is a style of residential architecture that was popular in the mid to late 19th century. And you can see the features here in the ornate detailing. It's got that low-pitched roof that has wide eaves supported by decorative brackets. It's got tall, narrow windows, arched, in this case with jack arches. It's got the extensive use of brackets and moldings and other ornamentation, particularly on that front porch. Just beautiful. We're back inside on the 1st floor and in the last room of our tour. This is the parlor. Again, you'll see these lovely windows with the sunshiny French embossing. And this room is now being used as the main office for Preservation of Historic Winchester, locally known as PHW. PHW was formed in 1964. And it really was formed as a result of the house that is pictured behind me. It was locally known as the Conrad House, and it was a historic home, beautiful, large, roomy home that was built in the 1700s. In the 1960s, there was a need for parking, and the government recognized the need. Local merchants wanted more parking, and it was thought that the location of the Conrad House would be a great location for a parking lot. A group of people were mortified at not just this house, but many houses that they had seen disappear because people weren't so interested in the historic architecture of Winchester. And Winchester has amazing, rich architectural heritage. So this group of people started to protest, and it is rumored that the mayor said to them basically, hey, if you want to save these houses, buy them yourselves. The city did not want to be landlords. At this point in time, the Conrad House had been turned into apartments, and the city did acquire the property and really didn't want to be landlords to renters. So even though this group of people formed, protested, came up with alternatives for a parking lot that was needed, they lost the fight, and the Conrad House was torn down and a parking lot was prepared. This initiated this grassroots movement that solidified and became a 501c3 organization known as Preservation of Historic Winchester. Initially, they took that mayor's supposed advice and purchased properties, put protective covenants on them, and then resold them, and then put this money into a revolving fund where they would purchase the next property. Maybe fix it up, have volunteers fix it up, find someone who could fix it up and would fix it up, put protective covenants on it, and then resold that property. Currently, Preservation of Historic Winchester has protective covenants on about 80 properties in Winchester. The Hexagon House is actually one of the houses that PHW purchased, put protective covenants on, and then resold to the Glass Glen Burnie Foundation. So this house will be preserved and protected in perpetuity, as will many, many other homes in historic Winchester. However, there are still houses that need to be protected. So if you are interested in learning more about PHW and joining PHW in this mission, you can visit the website online at phwi.org. I thank you for touring the Hexagon House with me, an old Virginia home.